Alright, abusia K-Lover Media, Lovers TV, Africa Suni, Emamuina Kwaba, Papa Reverend Dr. Owusu-Bempah, and ne revelation and our message, teachings, it be a fire, it's about politics. Ni here say a GD4, and I say omutre near obey lady, or mine, or say, Ude Kotuaba, but Yankopon, and a bit the leader for the country. Mensemre meyenti ne yenhwe ne papa Reverend Dr. Owusu-Bempah editudwa we part 2.
Now Adam and the name Niyama Adam na no world president our toto Niyama no say we born again believers. So just like yen was here who as we say, just as it was in the beginning that Adam had the right and the authority to name things and to rule things, he was like the world's president at that time. Now, in this dispensation, it is we believers that must rule. And choose leaders, and so we must exercise our right of choice and choose leaders for the earth. But we hands together for Jesus. Now, scripture necessary. What did the scripture we read say? Or say, Montomaba. He said, go and cast your vote. But a yonyame and obe choose the obeding kunim. But it is the Lord who has the final say. Say yonyame no obe chire the obeding kunim dia. Now, if indeed it is the Lord who has the final say over the one who would be victorious. And yonyame be find the servants for so. And actually, then indeed, God will reveal the person he has chosen to his servants, and his servants will declare the one the Lord has chosen. If indeed the final say is of the Lord, if indeed God has the final say, and obey choose leaders. Then through apostles, through pastors, through evangelists, through teachers, and through prophets, then it is also true that he is going to make that choice through his apostles, through his evangelists, through his pastors, through his teachers, and as well through his prophets. Or may choose leaders through his servants. He is going to choose the prophets, the leaders through his servants, the prophets. And Abraham covenant in tea. That is why, by virtue of the covenant between God and Abraham, and that God became the Lord over the descendants of Abraham, who became a nation. So leader, leaders through prophets. Now, anytime God wanted to appoint a leader, God appointed the leader for the nation through his prophets. And until you read First Samuel. So when you read the book of First Samuel, chapter 10, verse 20 to 21. Chapter 10, verses 20 and 21. Israel, the people of Israel went out to cast their lots. Tribes, all the tribes came together. Benjamin, the family, in election. And through the lots, the tribe of Benjamin was elected. Selete, strong men. And they went further to select strong men from the tribe of Benjamin. And Saul was one of the men who were chosen from that tribe. And they went further to cast another ballot. And they voted massively for Saul. But now Prophet Samuel, now prior to Prophet Saul, so obey your leader, obey your president. Prior to the election, God had used his prophet Samuel to anoint Saul, and he prophesied to Saul and said to him, according to the word of the Lord, you are going to be the leader of Israel. You are the one the Lord has chosen. That is why God said to Elijah, saying,
anoint Elisha, no prophet, one name, now anoint Jehu, no leader, king, president.
God said to him that anoint Elisha to be a prophet who will stand in your place, a prophet in your stead, and anoint Jehu who will be the king over Israel. And so do not say or refrain from saying that it is improper for a Christian to get involved in politics. Do not ever say that it is inappropriate for a prophet to prophesy about a word the Lord has given to him concerning the election, that it is such a person the Lord has chosen to be leader. Now, would you like me to say something to you?
Organization in your position politicians.
Okay, so the institution which garners power and rule, or to rule over the affairs of men, that institution is made up of politicians.
Minya sure say abeko market anka akofre kayo for so mumra na yemfa baako enye MP e wo bona hafo na yemfa baako enye minister e wa Ashanti region David.
Now I don't believe that anybody would go to the market and select a kayayo, what we call in our local language a kayayo, and say that I want you to be the member of parliament for a certain constituency in the Bono region. Neither would we choose a kayayo to be, for instance, a minister of state for any sector.
Politicians
Rather,
and your selected leadership.
Rather, we choose people into positions of leadership, political leadership, from groups of politicians.
And your mom see the
So,
selected leaders.
So, we do not select leaders from fishermen, amongst fishermen.
And until who say, baby, I see a choose leaders free. Senyankopon fa nenkoaso. Echirenia also lead organization bia enya bone. Eno nkyere say sa nyame servant no oya politics. Nyame anim ade afa ne politics eni nyame anim.
So we know that the political institution is that institution of society where we choose political leaders to rule over a people. And so if God reveals to a prophet that amongst these politicians, this is the one I have chosen to become the leader over the people, it is not wrong, and it is also not the case that that man of God is showing political colors or he's being political. In the sight of God, there is nothing like politics.
And then you see a giant sassy way. Emma unbelievers.
Why should we let this world to be controlled by unbelievers? So that unbelievers will rather rule believers and people of God.
I was saying now, you choose.
We are the ones who must choose people into positions of leadership,
because when you choose,
because it is God who chooses.
Nipa be deciding, but Onyankopon will choose.
So men would always express their thoughts. They would have a decision, but the ultimate decision is of the Lord. The final say is of the Lord.
Kokotuaba.
So go and cast your vote.
But Unyame and Obechere Nia Onunyame ebi choose.
But the final say about who the Lord has chosen is of the Lord himself.